So far, the record in one session is a little bit over 60, about 65. Lucas Loring. Let's go. Good. 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 Good, good, good. Blood's flowing. People woken up now. You guys all stretched out before you got here, so that wasn't a big shock to the system? No. Big shock. Gotcha. Still going.
I've never done that many consecutive push-ups in my life.
Now I'm sweating. One set.
Shit.
Clothes are already peeling off. 65 out. Come on now. She's wearing your shirt. What? That's your shirt. All right. Hey, so last session. Nice job making it all the way through, everybody. Kind of building up all along. Hopefully you've been taking notes. For I think almost all of you, I got your sheets back, so that today's gonna be a lot more interactive. We're gonna talk about some things broadly that should apply to everyone, and then afterwards we'll shut everything down. If you want to come up and meet with me one-on-one, I'm gonna be here for a while, going through your sheets with you if you want. Okay. So I give you some more direct feedback, advice, next steps. All right. You guys are used to doing more than the minimum on the push-ups. I gave you guys a format, some things to write down, right? Give you just your main priority in all those areas on your SWOT analysis. On your own, did you apply less than 25 push-ups to that task? Did you do the minimum? Or on your own, did you go above and beyond and do more? I know what you guys sent me, right? But on your own, do you guys go above and come up with more ideas and options and thoughts? Who did? Raise your hand. Okay, and if you didn't, so the process with push-ups is something how you want to apply that to basically everything we do here, right? There's the minimum, there's less than a minimum, there's a little bit more, and then there's smashing everybody doing the most that you can. Okay, keep applying that. We've been going over that lesson every time. All right. Right out of Atomic Habits, James Clear, right? We want to keep exploring different ideas, different habits in these 6 areas to get you better until you find one that works really well for you. And once it works really well for you, stop exploring. Stop adding other iterations. All right? You keep exploiting that until you plateau or it doesn't work any longer. So if my goal is to increase my squat and all I do is back squat twice a week and it keeps going up for a year, I'm gonna keep back squatting twice a week. If all I need to do to lose weight is track my food, that's all I'm gonna do, right? I don't need to add a third or fourth thing or reinvent the wheel. If it's working, run with it. If it's not working, stop running, find something else. Okay? So I can give you 30 different things on how to get you stronger, faster, leaner. Don't do all 30. Right? You find a 2 or 3 that work for you. That's what we're gonna do. So I went through your guys' sheets on your SWOT analysis. Got them all right here. Okay? The head, right? The mental, the knowledge, how you work with teammates, other people. And then the body, how you train, how you feel it, how you recover. There are some overarching themes for most people. All right, not for everybody, but for most. So I'm gonna go through, give you guys the basics on what to do, see how it applies to you. Ask questions at any point in time. all right? Or I can meet with you I can meet with you afterwards. But ask questions or give up your own ideas. Cool?
Yep.
Well together? Start with mental approach, right? Mostly what I had seen is, people don't really have a process, or they have anxiety during situations, or leading up to a situation, or they struggle focusing. Very similar themes, all right? Most people, I wrote down your morning process, your evening process. These are little things you can do no matter what situation you're in. You're completely detached. Get up in the morning, spend 5 minutes of meditation, pick a mantra for that day. 5 minutes of meditation, that's it. I like Mark Devine's approach on the Way of the Seal. You can go on his YouTube channel. He has this 2 different meditation videos. You can turn it on, listen to it. I think those are like anywhere from 8 to 9 minutes. One, he wants you picturing yourself in the water like a little fish in a fishbowl. And you're just kind of sitting there and he's talking about it and you kind of let everything just float away, all right? When you meditate, in through your nose, out through your mouth, big deep breaths. Calm yourself down, changes your heart rate. If you want to let your mind just go and blank out, great. If beforehand you want to have a mantra for that day that you picked, think about that while you're meditating. If you want to meditate on an actual issue or a goal or a challenge, meditate on a thought, or meditate with no thoughts. I find the meditating with no thoughts and calming down to be the absolute hardest. I can go maybe 20, 30 seconds. Then I got to reset. What I do is if a thought comes in and I don't want any thoughts, I just inhale the thought mentally and then blow it out. So then I just go back to just concentrating and thinking about the breathing coming in and exhaling out. So I focus on that, and it enables me to hone in my focus on one thing. Why is that important? Because later in the game or going in a meeting with your boss, you have all these thoughts, and your ability to focus on one thing becomes absolutely critical. So you can develop that skill, and you're getting ready for a big 4th down play, 3rd and long play, meeting with your boss, like I said, and you can focus on one thing, you got a really good shot. If you have all these thoughts going around and you haven't developed the habit of being able to calm yourself down, you will not perform optimally. All right, so in the morning, meditate, mantra, go about your day. Evening, write something down. Write down how things went. So on the mental piece, those are the basics. With the anxiety, you have to go back to that meditation habit. If you were getting ready for a big play or a series or it's practice that day or it's a series of discussions with your spouse, you got to be able to calm yourself down through breathing, focus on the real issue. I have to make this tackle, I have to make this block, and try to make it singular. I'm pushing, you have to know what your assignment is, right? In this instance, and you're truly only focusing on the assignment. It's not the crowd, it's not what do my parents think, what do my friends think, how do I look? It truly becomes, can you focus on the one thing? I'm not gonna say I have ADHD, but it kind of feels like I always had. I would literally, when I was in grade school or at high school, I'm at home, I would have to do this when I'm reading the text, because my comprehension was so bad. I would have to do this, and I'd read it, and I'd underline it, write things down, and I'm back to doing this. I would hold my face and have these fake blinders on so I could just focus. If you can do that, right, metaphorically, physically, focus on the one thing, and almost everything else goes away. Everything gets quiet, everything calms down, and then you can really perform an attack. It's hard to do that in a game if you're not practicing that at home. Once you practice that at home, you can do that in practice. Once you do that in practice, then you can do it in a game. Like anything, you do it over and over and over again, deadly.
So to piggyback off that, how do you handle if you screw up? So like, I'm at a meet. Maybe I totally bombed my first attempt.
Sure.
How do I come back from that? How do I rebound? How do I?
Two things. One's the long-term approach. Who was I talking to yesterday? You, right? 2 years left in high school, hopes to play in college, so it's a minimum of 4 years. That's 6 years, is what I told him. So long-term, you're not supposed to be very good years 1, 2, and 3 out of those 6. It's 4, 5, and 6 where you should be at your best, right? So years 1, 2, and 3 right now, You want as many reps as possible, looking for how you do well and how you screw up. You want to look for those screw ups. You want to make those happen immediately. You want to have so many reps that you see all the screw ups right now. Write down what they were, learn what they were, and don't repeat them. The more data you can get, more screw ups you can get, failures, that's great because it's all learning. Then you apply it years 4, 5, and 6, and then you're smashing it, right? If you never really screw up, you don't really learn how to bounce back. So long term, you have to have the mindset that you're looking for the screw ups quickly, adjust, and then move on. If you're always just trying to play perfect and you can't evolve with the screw ups that you made, then you don't really improve, right? You have to have that mindset. You're looking for the screw ups now. In the short term, coach says to them, hey, you missed your block, you missed your tackle, whatever, you missed this assignment or deadline. Immediately just acknowledge it. This happened, right? It's not emotional. This happened. If you need to write it down in your head or write it down after practice or write down what happened later, right? But you have to go right in your next play. Well, you know you only get about another 20 seconds, right? So you have to have a process for that. Typically it's learn what you just did, but now it's what's the next target? Figure that out. You get 5 breaths. That's about 2 seconds times 5 is 10. You only have 20 to get to the next play, right? So half the time you're trying to calm yourself down, readjust what the new target is, and then all you can do is refocus and attack. Okay? If you miss a block on one play and that's the big screw up, and that could happen on the next play, you got to think about what you just did and fix that immediately in those 10 seconds. But you have to take your mindset again, your process. You're running back to the huddle. You're going to your next meeting. You're going to your next class. You have to calm yourself down and then refocus on that target. Because really all that ever matters is what's next in front of you, right? Mark Devine and others will talk about their hell week, which is 5.5 days of SEAL training, no sleep. You get 5 hours total, roughly. It literally becomes the goal is to get them to believe and understand and implement that all they should focus on literally is this. You're walking to the next evolution, and maybe it's digging a hole in the sand with your hands, and all you're trying to do is dig the hole in the sand with your hands, and that's all you're thinking about. I'm digging this hole. You're not thinking about, man, how am I going to survive 5 days? You're just thinking about, I'm doing this, right? And you finish that, and you're going out to the water for some surf torture, where you lay down in the water, and you're just thinking about, I'm sitting in the water. They want you so present that you're really just thinking about the next step in front of you. At best, at most, you should only look towards the next meal. There's 4 a day. So you're trying to go from lunch to dinner. Can I go those next few hours? They really only want you focusing on the next task only. And those that do that and calm themselves down, they end up making it through. But most don't. They start thinking about how am I going to get through this? How am I going to get through that? They get overwhelmed, and they can't do this. They literally can't. It's really hard for me to understand another scenario where that rule doesn't apply. You can only focus on the next task in front of you and what that is, not do I mess up and I get put down the depth chart? Do I mess up and cost the game or whatever? None of those thoughts help. Only the target helps. The target only. Okay? Knowledge, I like this one because the smarter you are here means, can I get smarter in this area? You got to increase your knowledge. Can I get smarter on how to deal with people? You got to increase your knowledge. There's knowledge, so you can apply this one to any one of these, right? And there are some minimums. You got to have some minimum capabilities in all areas. For example, if I'm training and I run a 8.040, right? An 8-second 40, I'm not playing, right? There's some minimums, right? Where you're gonna do well is if you hit all the minimums in all 6 areas, and maybe you're pretty good, say B+, A- in every area, okay? If you're there, you're gonna be playing for a long time, you're gonna be doing well in your career if you're pretty good in all those areas. Where you're really gonna be dominant is if in at least one area you are far and beyond the best. If you are the strongest and fastest, you're gonna do well, right? If you had the best way to eat and fuel yourself so you're always performing optimally, you're gonna do all right. If you never get hurt versus someone who's always injury prone, right? If you're always there, if you have the best mental approach, like David Goggins will tell you, he's not really good at a lot of things, but he suffers better than everybody. So whatever scenario he's put in, he's gonna do all right. If you can maximize how you perform with your teammates, with your coaches, you're the best at that, you'll be truly valuable. If you're one of the smartest people in the room in all these areas, you're gonna have some opportunities, okay? You're gonna need to find someone though who's smarter than you in these 6 areas and ask them to help. I need a mentor in this area, right? I need a coach in this area. You already have coaches in several of these areas. You need to go to that coach one-on-one and say, I'm trying to do this. Here's what I already know. What else do I need to know? Can you help get me there? What is the process? Let's write this down, let's do it. In a lot of your SWOT analyses, you would write down what your tasks were or habits you want to do, but rarely, if ever, were they quantified. Critical. If it's not quantified, it's not a number, you can't measure it. We improve what we measure, right? We improve what we measure. So if it's meditate 5 minutes. Meditate 8 minutes, but you have to write that down to see if that works, right? All right. On your teammates, this is a broad term. How do you work out? How do you work with your friends? How do you work with your teammates, your coaches, family members? If we're talking specifically about your sport or your field of study, it's you, and you need at least one more ally in the same group. All right. So if I'm playing D-line, it's got to be at least me and one other guy who's my guy. We are locked in arms. We are pushing ourselves together. Okay. Secondarily, if I'm playing D-line, it's got to be me, and then the linebacker's right behind me. I need one more guy, so I'm always working with them, trying to improve. You need to assess on your teammates. Are your friends outside of work? Are your family members? Are they detrimental and really pulling you down? I'm not saying cut those people off forever, but you're gonna spend less time with them. It's hard with your family and friends, right? Until you realize it's not hard. It's not really that hard. You just say, hey, I don't have time right now. Hey, I'm not really interested. Hey, what's going on, man? How come you're not drinking with me tonight? Bro, I got some things I'm trying to do. This is the path I'm on. I know you're gonna make fun of me. That's fucking cool, but I don't have the time for you right now, man. I'm doing this. This is where I'm going. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Shut up. Quit trying to drag me down. Pussy. Fuck you. Right? So get in your head. If you're going this way, you have to be able to say no to a lot of things, right? What do I say? Say no to some of your likes so you can have one of your loves. Mm-hmm. All right. Training. Got to hit the minimums. Can't be running an 8:40. Okay. Next, once you're hitting your numbers, you got to find and prioritize your main weakness. You don't fix that, now it's your weak link that's holding you back. Right? For most of you, if you're fine there, if you're strong enough in certain areas, if you're fast enough in most areas, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, an easy add on your training is core work almost every day, right? Grip work doesn't take a lot of work either, and then your neck for all you football players. You recover quickly from those. All 3 are critical. You can do all 3 at home. You can do them in the facility. Pretty easy. So if you don't have those pieces and you're looking for the next little evolution, do that. How much? 3 days a week, half hour each time. See if that works. It's no big deal. 5 days a week, half hour each time. That's no big deal. 5 days a week, 45 minutes. Move on, right? If you can't get that done in 45 minutes, you're really screwing around. 3 easy things I can put on all your guys' things right now if you don't know what to do physically. Add that. If all you can get your hand on one person and still tackle them, you're gonna be good. Yes, sir.
It was core, neck, and what?
Core, grip, and neck.
Yeah, neck.
Why the neck?
Concussions.
What's that mean? Right here, upper traps, shoulders, right? Get a band. You can show you stuff on the rig, what to do at home. Super easy. Rice bucket, not costly, grip, hang from bars, core work, there's 1,000 things for core. What I don't really like is any type of real flexion and extension where you're doing crunches and crap. I like your core stabilized and your extremities not stabilized. I'm having to resist here, right? 3-point planks. Anyways, nutrition, step 1, track your food. Track your food. What's going in? Step 2, hit your protein number. Step 3, hit your creatine number. Critical. You have no process, stop what you're doing. You need to explore and then exploit what to do here. Recovery, sleep, number 1 steroid, water and ice. Ice showers, ice baths. Recovery, meditation is going to help you with that. The sleeping, some of you guys said, oh, if I can get a good 6 or 7 hours, I'm good. No, that's wrong. You need 8 or 9, maybe more. 6 or 7 is silly. It's not right. 8, 9, 10. Some of the best lifters will get 8 or 9, and then a nap. Okay? You guys wrote down nothing for your carrots or your stick or weren't really sure. What I would do with these 6 areas, write down a task that you're doing in all 6 if you want to do all 6 areas. If you say, hey Jim, that's kind of overwhelming, I'm going to focus on these 3 things, great. But focus on those 3 or focus on one area in all 6 and quantify that and say, I need to meditate 5 days a week for 5 minutes, if that's what you're picking, right? You need to have that written down, that's my task. That's one of your options, right? Write down a task. If you agree that you're doing that, you need to tell your ally you're doing that, and then you need to have your stick every Friday. So if you have 6 things, you need to decide out of those 6, I have 6, what's a win for me? A win for you might be 5. That's 83 1/3%. B minus, right? But if you say, hey, I need to get 5 of these 6 things, six things done. If I hit all 5, I'm good. No punishment. What would I do? If I said these 6 are critical, I need to hit all 6. I'd probably have 10, and I'd make these 6 critical. I have to hit these 6. If I miss any one of the 6, then I'm getting punished that one time. If I miss 2, I'm getting punished twice. You miss all 6, you're getting punished 6 times. Because you said they were critical. You missed them all. I wrote how much for you, right? You missed them all, and I said a minimum 100 push-ups. So you missed 6, there's 600. You have till Friday at noon. Here's your score. You don't hit it, 600 push-ups. If you're awesome at push-ups, 1,200. Right? You got to make it painful that you don't want to miss that thing, right? Or do this. Go in front of your mirror and look at yourself and tell them what you did, and look at yourself and say, I skipped all 6 because I gave into this excuse and this person and this friend group, and I didn't have a why, and I bailed on my friends and my teammates. Right? And say you just let everyone down because you were selfish and weak. For your carrot, I put a big 3-month carrot out there. Most of you guys didn't have anything. And for you guys, it's easy. Say, I want to be all conference. You do all these things over and over again. You're starting and you're playing, you're at a high level, you'll be all conference at some point. And I'll list that as the goal. If you're at work, you department head, managing director, subject matter expert in your field. People come to you. List that. You don't get there without all the process and the struggle. You don't. Any thoughts, problems, issues, different ideas there? No? All right. The last piece that we're going to learn about okay. I like to use the words sisu for not giving up. You guys probably already heard it. We asked the class a couple days ago, what's the word? Someone made fun of me and said sushi. That was pretty funny. You talk to David Goggins, he talks about taking souls. Dustin Burford would say it's flipping the switch, right? Tim Grover would say it's going to the dark side. For me, what I like to do, I have a physical cue. So normally when I'm talking to you guys, I have my hat backwards. So I'm getting ready to talk, physical cue, switch, we're focused, we're going. I left it forward today for dramatic effect during this point. But there's a physical cue, sometimes a verbal cue when I would lift. If I'm maybe talking to my friend or whatever in between lifts, but I'm trying to max out whatever, I focus and I would say the word up. I would say up, and I would go towards the bar and try to get set and go through my process to swap, right? So physical, verbal cue, but at some point, it's gonna come down to you versus someone in an area, getting your task done, and you just have to be meaner. You have to be more vicious, you have to be tougher, stronger, less willing to give up, hold on longer, not be a pussy. At some point you gotta show up and say, I'm gonna fight you today and I'm going to win. Especially in your guys' field of endeavor. If you're trying to move forward at work, it's the same deal. At some point you have to go there and be so focused that you're gonna either die on the battlefield or you're gonna win. And you gotta believe it, you go all the way to the end. All right? Now, that happens one-on-one with someone else randomly throughout a game or the season or whatever. The more often you can get there mentally, the more times you beat people, the more you advance. More so, if you're operating at a level and you're all conference, you're trying to be all state, you have to write down and see what all your habits are, what all your measurables are. I run this time, I squat this, I get this kind of grades, I know the playbook this well. I'm this tough in practice. Out of 100 tackles, I make 83, I only miss 17. Ultimately, you're gonna have to stand across from that person and say, now it's me versus you, and now I'm gonna beat you. So 83 tackles that you made out of 100, now you have to go to 89 or 92. You're great on your nutrition 6 days a week. To beat that person, which is you gotta go to 7. You gotta turn and flip that switch and turn it internally, and you have who you are and where you progress to, and say, you know what, I'm gonna evolve past you and I'm gonna be even better now. Watch this. And see where you are in 6 months. So it's gonna happen on the field, on your one-on-one matchups. You also look at who you are in these 6 areas and decide, I'm beating that person for the next 6 months. Dial in and go, right? Because then you evolve even further, and you progress, and now you see what doors open up. Oh wow, I have all these opportunities now. Win everything, win every day, win the day. You gotta win that internal battle way more than the external one, because the external ones fall pretty easily once you have that internal one taken care of. All battles are won before they're ever fought. Right? All right, that's my time, guys. Appreciate the time with you guys together. Hope you guys learned a few things. We're gonna meet up afterwards. We'll go over your own sheets, and then we're gonna go from there. But tell your friends and enemies. We're gonna put this on social or on YouTube again. Let people know and give me feedback so I can get better. All right. Thanks, guys. Give you guys a little round of applause. All right.